What's up, y'all? Austin here, and I just wanted to come on here and share with y'all what this page is all about. Um, I'll say it all started when I broke both my feet back in high school when I was playing football, and I was just in chronic pain everywhere in my body, my neck, my shoulders, my wrists, my feet, my ankles, my knees. Basically, I had chronic pain everywhere from the training that I was doing, from the lifestyle that I was living, and just from the sports that I was playing. All these things created so much stiffness and insecurity in my body. And ultimately, it broke me. I mean, I had two broke feet. Got surgery on those 2 feet. And then they even messed up one of the surgeries and had to go back in and remove the screw that they just put in because they put it in a size too big. And yeah, that's a whole another story for another day, but basically it led me on a healing journey. You know, there's definitely a spiritual side to everything, but I'm going to talk about the physical today. And it led me on a physical healing journey that basically I was just trying to seek for answers of how to get out of pain from feeling like an old man at the age of 18. When I wake up every morning, my feet hurt to walk on. It hurts for me to bend down. I can't even touch my toes. I'm so tight. I'm always getting stiff shoulders, and my wrist, I can't even be on the ground because it hurts and it's painful for my wrists and for my knees. And so it led me on this healing journey of like, okay, how do I get out of pain? How do I train in a way that builds my body and doesn't break it down? And question everything that I was told, because I did everything I was told. I was a devoted athlete. I was the hardest worker in the room, and I listened to what my coaches told me to do, and it broke me. It broke me. And so I was like, what the hell? What the hell? I was like, what? And so it made me start questioning everything about everything I was ever told that is the way to do something. And so I started, first it led to getting into yoga, and which I think is a pretty introductory thing for everybody that's trying to seek something different. And yoga was great. It taught me how to breathe. It taught me how to become more present and calm my anxious mind that I grew up with. And it taught me how to stretch and do things that are vulnerable for me physically. And because as a man, being sometimes the only man in a yoga class and doing yoga out in public, you just have people looking at you a certain way, and you just have to embrace that weirdness. And then getting starting to become more barefoot because my feet were hated being in shoes because of the pain. And then getting into climbing trees in college and just starting to get out there, and then learning different movement modalities. As out of college, I started working at a functional fitness gym with the focus on kettlebells. So just learning the kettlebell, learning swings and kettlebell swings and rows, all the different things that you can do with the kettlebell snatches, all the form, also functional movement in the sense of like sleds and joint mobility and body weight exercises, a little bit of calisthenics. But still, I faced chronic pain in my body. It helped with some things, just getting rid of the squat and the deadlift and the back, like the back squat, the deadlift, the bench press, the leg extension, all the machines at a gym, all these things that are very linear movement. They're very linear, right? where our body is not linear. Our body is, it moves in spirals, just like everything else in nature moves in spirals. Our body moves in spirals. And so I started with the kettlebells, watching these people that did like kettlebell flows, but they incorporated spiraling into the movement. And that started to shift something in my brain of like, okay, that feels good in my body. When I work more spirals into things, I feel better when I get done working out. I don't feel tighter. I don't feel stiffer. I don't feel these pains and tweaks that happen. There's something to this. And then I came across something called Go to Movement. And Go to Movement basically teaches you to go back to fundamental movements that we did as babies to build up strength and mobility and athleticism and coordination and body awareness, and like starting on the ground and working your way up almost like we did as babies. And I really found a lot of profound healing from that work. It was like the missing piece of what I was searching for my body. And it also correlated to how I love nature, and it was very centered on nature and how everything spirals in nature. You know, waves and the Fibonacci sequence, and how when we move in accordance to that spiraling nature of everything in nature, like with animals, they move with a spiral. And you watch indigenous tribesmen and elite athletes that have long careers without non-contact injuries, they move with this sort of swagger and sway, and it's all very elastic. And so we're just retraining the body to that, because I was very stiff and very right, walk around like this, but I was super stiff and also very insecure. You know, I had bigger muscles, I had a better physique, but in my mind I was still insecure about how I looked in my body, also how I felt in my body. I was insecure in the way that I moved because I still would do things and tweak things and hurt things and not feel super confident in my feet. And so after really GOATA was that missing piece that built the strength and trust and confidence in my body and my feet and my ankles and in my athleticism and just that effortless fluidity of the body that can be. And, you know, from there I learned from people the primal movement people that have more of a awareness based way. They're more creative and playful with the same type of movements, but they make it more playful and creative and make it about your awareness and connection to your body as well. And then also from like David Weck and Weck method, and they teach about the spirals and coiling, this method of coiling and how things coil and it's more elastic and it releases, and having this elastic property of the body. And you know, fascial training, and I've experimented with many different movement modalities, and I've come to find movement modalities that are like my bread and butter, that when I do them on a regular basis, my body feels good and my spirit feels alive and I feel confident in my body. I trust my body. I feel like I have limitless potential with what I can do. And just naturally athletic. And that's what I want to share with everybody. You know, I've spent in hours, I've spent money, I've spent time. I've really, it's been my life's work basically up until this point, since I broke my feet, of finding the ways that truly bring freedom to your body and to your movement, or at least to my body and my movement. Because I mean, we're all different things are going to feel different ways for different people, but these modalities that I've learned are universal. And that's what a part of this page is for sharing the knowledge that I've learned with everyone else. You know, I've kind of kept it to myself because they're kind of weird. It's sometimes it's not normal per se to, you know, be barefoot, to be wild out in the woods and climbing trees, and to do some of these exercises from these different systems. It's not like going to the gym and doing bicep curls and incline bench press and lat pull downs. You know, it's not that vibe. It's not that mainstream either. And so a lot of these different things are getting barefoot, getting on the ground, rocking back and forth like a baby, crawling on the ground, doing tummy time, getting a rope and doing rope flow, and becoming more fluid and elastic, and learning the spirals of the body and how the body flows effortlessly. So you can have effortless strength, effortless movement. That translates to everything. I'm a better dancer now because of it. I can go and get into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and have the strength and the groundedness and also the movement intelligence to be naturally athletic at it. And all the different things that you want to try, you just have this core natural athleticism that translates to everything. And also, when I get into pain, I know how to listen to it. I know how to navigate my pain, because pain is just a signal to you to change something. And so your body, I've learned the signals, I've learned how to adapt, I've learned the different tools and modalities to help me when those pains arise, so that it's just a temporary thing. If I get on the ground, roll around a little bit in Seiza, do some toe tuck rockers, or if my shoulder's nagging me, I do some rope flow, and I do some tummy time and different things of that nature. And these are very simple things to do, but they're very, very important and very, very powerful. And so if you want to learn more about these different modalities, this channel is for you. And I'd love for you to join me on the journey of healing your body and gaining more freedom to express yourself however you wish. Obtaining your natural athleticism and feeling at home in your own body. Feeling happy and at peace with who you are. That's it. So, all that to say, that's what this is all about. So if you want to be a part of that, if you want to learn more about that, follow me and stay tuned. Get involved, comment, ask questions, and let's do this thing. All right. Peace.